On This Week in Murder, we look at the mass shooting outside of a Chicago nightclub during a rapper's album release party and an update on the investigation, as well as a brief history of shootings at nightclubs in Chicago and the differing responses from the local government, forcing some clubs to shut down, while others remained open, potentially based on the political connections they may have. On This Week in Murder. On Wednesday, July 2nd, a shooting occurred outside of Artiz Lounge in River North, Illinois. The club had not officially opened and was the site of the album release party for Chicago drill rapper Mello Buckzz, whose real name is Melanie Doyle, whom rented out the location for what was supposed to be a celebration between her and her closest friends and fans. Unfortunately, it ended with 4 people dead and 14 injured. Of the 4 injured included Mello Buckz's boyfriend, Devontae Williamson. Police have not yet made any arrests in this case. As the event was winding down, a dark sedan pulled up outside the club and let out a ring of shots. Police recovered 2 different shell casings from the scene, indicating possibly more than one shooter. Besides Mello Buckz's boyfriend, also shot and killed were 2 women Mello Buckzz considered sisters. She spoke out about the tragedy, posting that she carries a heavy heart, knowing so many lives were affected, and that she aches for the lives that were lost. The club, which had yet to obtain a liquor license and the event had been promoted as a BYOB, has since shut down pending further investigation. They had just obtained a business license earlier this year, after the same location, which operated under the name Hush Nightclub under different owners, was shut down in 2022 after a shooting outside the venue. In that incident, a group of people were ejected from Hush Nightclub. Those from the group got into a fight, and 1 or 2 men took out guns and fired shots. 30-year-old Arsen Salaka was shot in the chest and died at a nearby hospital. 3 others were injured, including a security guard who was shot in the shoulder as he was shooting back. A man and a woman were also shot in the leg. No arrests have been made in that shooting. 19-year-old Jimmy Silva picked up the gun that the security guard used in the shooting and got back in his car. Police caught up to him a short time later and recovered the gun. Jimmy Silva then received a separate gun charge while out on bail. Both charges were placed under the first-time weapon offender program, which led prosecutors to ask, how can 2 separate gun charges both fall under a first-time offender program? Silva received 2-year probation, and if completed successfully, he would not have a felony on his record, and the charges would be dismissed. Again, no arrests have been made in the case. Hush Nightclub had been closed ever since, until it reopened under the ownership of their Brandy Artis and her wife, Brittany Artis. The club again was forced to close after the most recent shooting. Many have taken issue with the club being forced to close, as it doesn't seem to be a one-rule-for-all policy. Only one business in the area had been shut down under the summary closure ordinance the Chicago City Council passed in 2015. This from an article on the Chicago Sun-Times. Officials have gone easy on clout-heavy bars and businesses, including those owned by Carmen Rossi, who runs a string of restaurants and clubs, holds the liquor license for Lollapalooza, and is a political contributor to Mayor Lori Lightfoot. 2 of Rossi's bars, Joy District and Liquor Box, weren't closed after shootings outside them last year. Martini Bros Inc. is run by Rossi's colleague, Vincent Lugin. Lugin is a silent partner in the Dime, one of the bars operated by 8 Hospitality, which is owned by Rossi. Rossi's bars, which are regulated by Myers Agency, have come under scrutiny because of violence concerns. In September 2021, a patron of his nightclub had been kicked out of the bar and was fatally shot in the street. The fact that shootings at clubs owned by Rossi remained open while others that were not were forced to close begs the question if political contributions led to certain protections for Rossi and his clubs. While many think the club should not have been forced to close, others feel the nightclub should have done their due diligence, as Mello Buckzz has been involved in a highly publicized online beef and has previously assaulted other local artists. There are rumors that the shooting is related to a murder that had just occurred the night before. Her father was arrested on gun charges that are unrelated to this incident. Should Artiz Lounge be forced to close? What do you think? comment, like, and subscribe to stay up to date on this story and more on the next This Week in Murder.